These two phone cases I have been able to get my hands on, one for the P30, one for the P30 Pro. Now, the phone doesn't release for another month. In March, there will be a launch event in Paris. You can have a look at the launch video. Huawei is teasing some sort of zoom. Now, we know that they have 5 times zoom already, so maybe it's going to be a 10 times hybrid zoom. The 10 times camera isn't ready yet. Oppo are going to introduce that lossless zoom. I think for now, Huawei are going to do a 10 times hybrid zoom, but they're definitely pushing that as one of the main features. Now, the Huawei P30 is going to have a triple camera, and we think that the Huawei P30 Pro is going to have a quad camera. I'm interested to see what these are going to be like, if they're decent, if they're a bit of a rip-off, or if they're new. Let's have a look. Well, I mean, you can see straight away, they look sales ready. They look very professional, and they're obviously ready for sale. There's no way that a factory will make something like this unless they're 100% sure that this is going to fit the phone. Okay, so you've got the P30 Pro here, this red one, and you can see this one, it has the sticker up here, P30. Let's just have a look for the case of that P30. You can see in there, you've just got that camera bump. And for the P30 Pro, you've actually got the camera bump plus a little thing on the side. They definitely look very professional. I'm actually quite surprised. Let's get the P30 one open for now. You get a couple of little rings in there, which is actually really useful. Now, this looks to be really decent. And they've actually got, and I didn't know this, they've actually got a screen protector in here as well. So let's just have a look at what this screen is going to look like, bearing in mind that these screen makers are not going to design something without really being sure that the design is accurate. So let's just see there. You can see just at the top there, you've got that water drop notch design, very small there. This screen protector, it's not the best I've seen. I've really got to be honest. I've seen better, but obviously as a first attempt before the phone actually comes out, it's a really good guide just to see what the phone will look like. So that's the size of the screen. You can see there, it's pretty small. Leaks have suggested it's about a 6.1 inch screen. Just have the iPhone here. This is an iPhone 10, just a small one. This is definitely longer than that. You can see it goes on there. It's probably about the same width, but it's definitely thinner. You can just see there, it is way longer. So obviously the aspect ratio is going to be a bit different there as well. Very interesting. Let's just try and put the iPhone 10 inside this case. And actually you can see there the width is pretty much exactly the same. It's just a bit longer. So the P30 Pro, that's going to be the size. It's about the same size as an iPhone, just a bit taller. If you turn it on the back there, you can see this camera cutout is absolutely ginormous. Absolutely huge. So you have the iPhone 10 here with its dual camera and that LED in the middle. That is absolutely massive. There is definitely going to be 3 cameras in there. A really big camera bump, 3 cameras, and obviously a flash, and the microphone will be in there as well. All right, let's take the iPhone out and see what else we get. There is a hole in the top, but that is absolutely in no way big enough to be a headphone jack. So that looks like an IR blaster or maybe a microphone. On the bottom here, we actually get what looks to be a headphone jack. In the middle there, you can see that will be the cutout for the USB-C. That has to be a headphone jack there. I'm not sure what that is. Obviously, that's probably a speaker grill, but it looks to have a headphone jack in there. It's a good size. Huawei P30's never been a huge phone. They saved that for the Mate, but very interesting. Let's have a look at the P30 Pro case. This one, I've gone for a red here. Again, on the bottom, you've actually not got room for a headphone jack. So, are they putting that just on the P30? Just see there, they are omitting the headphone jack hull. So the P30, I'm assuming, doesn't have a headphone jack. Just like the Mate 20 Pro doesn't have a headphone jack. I guess Huawei have omitted it. You've got a hole for a speaker, a tiny hole there, which I assume is an IR blaster, or it can't be for a speaker, it's just too small. So are they going to be putting a speaker in the USB-C charging port again, like they did on the Mate 20 Pro? Not the biggest fan of that. Have a look at the difference between the P30 cutout and the P30 Pro cutout. I would say actually that the cutout for both of these looks to be absolutely exactly the same. You can see the P30 Pro case on top of the P30 case. It's no bigger, it's no longer, it's exactly the same size. Very interesting. How are Huawei going to fit more in here? Now we know that the leak suggests that the P30 Pro will actually have another camera or some sort of further camera functionality than the P30. But looking at these two camera bumps are exactly the same. This tiny extra camera hole on the right doesn't look big enough to put a camera in. Maybe it's a time of flight sensor or something, or maybe they've moved the flash to there and they'll add another camera bump in here on the bottom, whereas the flash will go there on the P30 Pro. Really interesting to see these. You can actually see the size difference there. It's not huge. This one, it feels really long, a very, very long phone. You can put this one inside here. You can just see the difference in height between them. It's really, really, really small. I wouldn't say there is much difference between them at all, except for a bit of height. We know that the P30 and the P30 Pro are going to have AMOLED screens, 6-inch here, 6.4, 6.5 inch on this one. This one definitely feels taller, but not a lot bigger apart from that. Very interesting insights. Maybe we can just get the screen protector for the P30 Pro and just see the difference in screen sizes. Again, the design is exactly the same as the P30, just a little bit bigger. Actually, they've just included, oh, I thought it was the same. It is, they've just included exactly the same screen protector in both of these, so they obviously don't know exactly the difference. I can see one is slightly bigger than the other. No, they're exactly the same. I'm assuming then that there probably won't be much difference between them, but there you go. If I just get a Redmi Note 7, that's a 6.4 inch screen. You can see it's actually bigger, or it just goes in there. It fits in there like an absolute glove. So yeah, if you know what the Redmi Note 7's like, you can just see it fits in there very, very snug. Another thing that I've just realized is that the sides on this case do not come up to the side of the Redmi Note 7. That is a very, very strong indicator for me that this one, the P30 Pro, will have curved edges. The P30 case does not do it. Those come straight up. You can see the difference in the way that they're manufactured there. The P30 case definitely is made for a phone without curves, a curved edge. The P30 Pro, wow, it's as clear as day that that will have curved edges. So if you're not a curved edges fan, go with the P30. If you don't mind curved edges, it looks like you're going to be getting them in the P30 Pro. So definitely a lot of rumors have been proven according to these cases. No fingerprints on the back, that will be under the screen. It looks like on the P30 Pro, they're going to add another camera and then move the flash to the side. The P30 Pro looks to have no headphone jack, and it's going to come out of the USB-C port just like the Mate 20 Pro. One thing I haven't got here is the P30 Lite case. Now there's definitely rumors of it coming. It's going to be a device, although I can't find any cases for it, so we're not sure exactly what that one will look like. It's definitely going to be more like the P30 than the P30 Pro. So that one is still up in the air. Don't know anything about that one, but certainly it will look way more like the P30. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the camera bumps on these. There's been so many rumors saying that the cameras would be different between them, although the actual main camera bump is exactly the same size. So why would you have this extra camera bump on the side? It definitely poses a lot more questions than it answers. Let me know in the comments, send me a comment, which one would you prefer, which one Are you going to buy, or would you like to buy the P30 or the P30 Pro? A lot of people don't like the curves. Anyway, very interesting to see these. We have just a month now until the official announcement from Huawei in Paris, where we can stop guessing about these things and just see the real devices.